Hey guys, Explorer4 here. Welcome back to some more reviews, and welcome back to the Wes Craven movie reviewing marathon. And today we're talking about the sequel, Scream 2, from 1997. Scream 2. Now, this one, like I said, 1997 is when it came out, 6.3 on IMDb. So, very fast made. Like, I think this went in production right after the first movie was released. So, it is kind of risky doing that. I know the Weinstein... excuse me. The Weinstein, see that? I couldn't even say the name. The Weinsteins were involved, and so they really want this movie to get out there fast. And Scream 2, I really enjoy. Scream 2, I think... yeah, it being released so fast could have caused some of the problems that this movie has. I do think it was probably rushed a bit. And it's also the only Scream movie out of the first four that I kind of lower the rating for, which I'll get to. But Scream 2 is a wonderful sequel. I mean, I still have a lot of fun with Scream 2. I enjoyed it much more rewatching it again. When I first seen it, I was like, it's okay. Rewatching it, though, I gained a lot more respect for it. In Scream 2, follows up the first movie. You got Sydney. It's 2 years later. She's in college. And she's getting, like, weird phone calls on a daily basis from people just trying to prank her and stuff. But slowly, we realize that there are new Ghostface killers. And, you know, we got, Dewey involved again. We got Courtney Cox there, who's doing a story once again. You've got Randy, who's also back in this movie, who's at the same college. And so you have kind of a reunion of the characters. They're on this campus, and they've got to solve who the killers are. You get some brutal death scenes here and there. We get some bloody moments. And I think for the most part, Scream 2 works. The opening I really, really enjoy. I like how it takes place at the theater. The idea of Stab, this movie that was made based off of the book of Gale Weathers. And basically it's in the movie's universe, it's a movie version of the events from the first Scream. And the opening in the theater and everybody going crazy wearing the costumes. You have Jada Pinkett Smith in this movie having a cameo at the beginning, as well as Omar Epps. They get killed off at the very start in kind of brutal ways. Omar Epps gets stabbed like right in the ear, basically, through the bathroom stall. Then, of course, Jada Pinkett Smith gets like stabbed multiple times, and then she just screams and then falls down, and then Scream 2. I love that opening. The Ghostface killers in this movie are still pretty brutal. They're still fumbling, stumbling everywhere. Of course, that became like a trademark of Scream, where the killers aren't like these supernatural, unstoppable killers. They're, just regular people tripping around, falling down and stuff. And I like how they made the killers a bit more vulnerable and stuff. And you got some decent death scenes. You've got, I want to say, was that Sarah Michelle Gellar in this movie? I want to say that was her. Pretty sure she's in this movie as like a cameo. Yeah, and she gets like thrown off of a balcony and lands on the ground below, which they would use that scene in Halloween H2O, which makes zero sense. I don't even know how it's possible. Scream 2 has a good look to it. I like how this movie's filmed. And I think these movies, weird, random point, these movies look good on DVD. Like, they match DVD. They match that 90s feel. So watching it on tape or on DVD would just add to it, that nostalgic look to it. The MTV style, where this one I think is a bit more MTV. There's a bit more to the soundtrack. There's a bit more to just how it looks. A lot more of the references are much more like pop culture references. And so it does have like a 90s MTV feel to it, which I think fits the movie. I like how Dewey's back. He knows all the clues. He's trying to piece it together with Randy. And I think this one had the best gimmick of all the sequels, even part 4, where the gimmick is horror movie sequels. Bigger, badder, better. There's always double the body count. And Randy going over the rules with Dewey is a very infamous and great scene. I think that gimmick of the sequels works the best. The trilogy gimmick, I thought, worked well in Scream 3. The remake stuff in Part 4 I dug, but this one I thought was just nailed. I love that concept of there's horror movie sequels, and these people are trapped in one. They got to figure out how to survive it. I love that. That's a cool idea. The fact that it takes place on college was pretty cool. Whatever campus they filmed on, a lot of beautiful locations. I like the look of the campus and the atmosphere of college in the 90s. It was pretty cool. The supporting cast, the new cast, they're okay. I don't love these characters. I thought Liev Schreiber was like, it was cool seeing him get to do more in this movie. And I like how his character he literally is crazy. I don't care what he says. He's nuts. He almost like kills Neve Campbell's character if she didn't help him get a story told or whatever. Like, basically get him some more fame. And so he's crazy. No matter what he says, he's out of his damn mind. Them killing off Randy, I never hated that. I know a lot of the fans over the years, like a lot of the fans, had a big issue with that. Still to this day, it's brung up as like one of the most regrettable moments in the Scream franchise. I disagree with that. I thought it made it, to where anything could happen. The stakes are raised. I almost said the standards are raised. It's like, yeah, it went from being a basic movie to, oh, it's up here, to like, it's A24 now. No, it's elevated. God. We're not even going to get into all that. But I thought it raised the stakes. It showed that they could kill off some of the more main characters. So that was surprising. I never hated that. It was brutal. It was just devastating. And yeah, the Ghostface killers, while they trip and fall over themselves throughout most of this movie, they're also still intimidating. They still have their moments where they're brutal and the violence is still there. I think the problems, like I said, the supporting cast isn't as strong in this one. The new boyfriend character, the guy from Kangaroo Jack, that's basically how I know him, is the guy from Kangaroo Jack. I think he's okay as the new boyfriend. I think he does alright. I don't hate him as a character. I don't love him as a character. He's there. The other friends of Neve Campbell, I thought were just completely just forgettable. You've got Timothy Olyphant in this movie, who's way out there, way over the top. I was not a fan of his acting in this movie. And I don't mind Timothy Olyphant. I think he did a great job in the Crazies remake. But here, it was a bit much at the end, and I also thought like his character just wasn't really anything. I really didn't think his character was much at all. As far as the rest of the problems, it being 2 hours long, you feel it in this movie. This movie slows way down much more often than the first one. And so there are moments where you're just waiting for it to pick back up. You're waiting for it to just, okay, what's going to happen next? What's happening here, It does drag its feet a little bit with the pacing. I think 2 hours is a bit long. And I get the first movie was almost 2 hours, but that one just was more interesting with certain aspects. And I thought it flowed a lot better. So I think the supporting cast is kind of in this movie. It's very slow. It's way slowed down at points. The whole ending, in my opinion, wow, besides like 5 and 6, is probably the worst ending of all the Scream movies. Like, I think 5 and 6 are worse in certain aspects, but like, out of the original 4 movies, this one has the worst ending. Because you find out that Timothy Oliphant is basically Billy 2.0, even more unhinged and crazy, overacting his ass off. And the big twist, Billy's mother. Billy's mother being the killer, I thought was just like really lame. I thought the twist was totally lame. Not a fan of Timothy Oliphant. Not a fan of the mother character. Her acting wasn't the best. And it taking place on a stage, I thought was a bit jarring. I'm just like, why? So the ending's a big problem too. I mean, of course they get the killers, they kill them off, they deal with them, and it's whatever. I really don't like the ending. I don't like how they almost kill off Dewey. Like, they pretty much stab him over and over and over again. He's still alive. And I'm like, really? Again? I don't know if that worked very well in this movie. So there's a lot of aspects I don't think work very well in this movie. It's very clunky when it comes to its story. And I get it, like, this movie was supposed to be a bit different because the script got leaked online and they had to rewrite the whole movie and change things up. But yeah, it's just out of the first four, it is my least favorite, but I still enjoy the movie. It's got a great amount of gore in there. I think Neve Campbell does great once again. I think Courtney Cox does great. It was cool seeing David Arquette come back. I like how they gave the Dewey character like a theme, like a, I don't know if I would say the ballad of Dewey, but like it's like the theme of Dewey. You know, I got a hiccup, but it's that's funny. That's so random. Apologies, I just hiccuped. And I'm hiccuping in my mind. I can't talk right now. But it's the Broken Arrow theme they took from the movie Broken Arrow. But it's I thought it was a cool addition to the soundtrack. I thought it fit the character. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. It was cool they brought that back in Scream 5. I'll give them that. That was cool. But yeah, I think despite its flaws, it's still a well-made movie. I think Wes Craven, direction-wise, I mean, it's directed fairly well. It's got some good cinematography in there. I like the locations. I like the MTV style to it. I like the fact that Courtney Cox has to go through sort of an arc in this movie, and which is why I also get so mad at the new Scream movies, because they just over and over and over again they ruin the Gale Weathers character's arc. They ruin it. They stomp it into the ground over and over again. I don't understand why they do it. I think the old cast from the first movie, they all still have great chemistry. It's really the new cast members I thought were just kind of eh. But yeah, overall, like I said, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. It does get the lowest rating out of the first four movies from me. 3.5 out of 5. It's got a lot of issues, but I think it's still a blast to watch. It's still a lot of fun. I think there's still a decent amount of suspense in there. Some brutal kills. And I think overall, it's a pretty damn good sequel. So anyways, y'all, that's my thoughts on Scream 2. If you've seen this movie, comment down below your thoughts on it. And yeah, also in the description, I will be leaving links to all my social media stuff there. So if you guys want to follow me on social media, the links to that will all be in the description below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting this series of videos that we're doing in memory of Wes Craven, my favorite horror director, one of my favorite directors of all time. And yeah, so here's to you, Wes. Thank you so much for all you did and all the films you made, and just all the people that, lives you've touched. And yeah, just thank you for everything you did, Wes. I mean, these movies are great. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And have a good day. Take care. Explorer 4 is out. And see you later. Peace.